songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncountered. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
It is our intention today, and in the remembrance services over the next 4 years, to commemorate by name those who had fallen in that centenary year. Of the 87 Redingensians who fell in the Great War, 4 had already died by the end of 1914. And the war had only begun in the previous August. They are Joseph Theodore Gage, who was the first British commissioned officer of all the fighting services to be killed in action, only 2 days after the beginning of the war. The account of his naval career is at the back of the service sheet. Roland Charles Hurley, a veteran of the South African campaign, killed in action in France. He had been married to Molly and had lived in Chertsey. Athol Benedict Truman, only 22, hit in the arm but continued fighting, then hit in the leg and then the groin. Survived to be taken to an enemy field hospital, but despite all attempts to save him, died of his wounds. Hubert Charles Loder Minchin, Sandhurst, then followed his father into the Indian Army, killed in action in France, aged 23. We will remember them. Now we sing, I vow to thee, my country.
I
The guns stopped at the 11th hour on the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918. Remembrance Day services have marked that fateful day every year ever since. But this year is special. As we all know, it marks the centenary of the start of a war that brought to an end an unprecedented 100 years of peace and prosperity in Europe, and caused to begin a century of savage wars and turmoil worldwide. We are still suffering the consequences. So we mourn this day all who were cut down in the wars of the last 100 years. And especially at this centenary, we remember those young men, 87 of them, fresh from Reading School, fresh from the Cadet Corps, who bravely led their men over the top into carnage in what came to be known then as the Great War. And we remember with them all those who fought in the Second World War and the other wars of that century of war. And now also, sadly, we remember solemnly those who have fallen more recently, Iraq, Afghanistan, and their grieving families. We today are heirs to the dehumanizing scars left by the First World War as we now know it. It takes many generations to recover from the brutalizing effects of war, not only on individuals, but on whole societies and civilizations. Even now, 100 years later, we are still experiencing the repercussions from the breakup of the Ottoman Empire at that time, and the attempt to create new states in the Middle East amid all the other preoccupations of settling the world in 1919. And now, in the first years of the 21st century, with the evidence of so-called failed states before us, we have been made forcefully aware once more of the destructive turmoil war causes, even when waged out of the best moral convictions. Is to stand back from involvement in conflict. But perversely, we are now faced with menaces of a different order that make action imperative. The terrorism of the 21st century, now backed by the resources of a terrorist state, the so-called Islam.